What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here. So at UFC 317, Ilia Topuria and Alexander Pantoja both destroyed their opponents, and they actually both made history. Pantoja now has the most wins and finishes in UFC flyweight history, and Ilia became the first undefeated two-division undisputed champion. With their continued dominance, this really opens up conversations about them potentially being the best pound-for-pound fighters in the entire UFC, and not just the best in their weight class. And this inspired me to give you guys my personal pound-for-pound list, because I don't think that the official UFC one is right. Like, Dana keeps saying he's going to fix it, but it's never going to happen. But regardless, my criteria for the pound-for-pound list will be, obviously it has to be the skill of the fighters, their records, and the level of competition. With that being said, let's get right into it. At number 15, I'm going to put Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he should be on the list because he should have fought for the title already, but he couldn't. Firstly, at UFC 300, the UFC offered him the opportunity to potentially fight Leon Edwards, but he couldn't because of Ramadan, and he's Muslim, so he couldn't really fight during that time. And then at UFC 310, Bilal Muhammad had pulled out of the fight, and at UFC 315, it was Shavkat who pulled out, so he couldn't make it because he was injured. And to be honest, if he fought either Bilal or Leon, he could have been champion if those fights actually happened. It's not really like set in stone, but he could have actually done it and been the UFC welterweight champion. But on top of that, he has 3 ranked wins with 2 finishes, which is impressive considering that Wonderboy Thompson had never been submitted in his entire career, and Jeff Neal had never been finished and still hasn't been finished in UFC outside of the fight with Shavkat. Compare that to the champion JDM, who has 3 ranked wins with 1 finish over a guy who had been knocked out several times. The former champ Bilal with 4 ranked wins and 1 finish. Sean Brady has 2 ranked wins and 1 finish. Leon Edwards has 2 ranked wins and 1 finish, and Kamaru Usman has 4 ranked wins and 2 finishes. So Shavkat is undefeated. He is very well-rounded, and he actually might be the best welterweight on the planet. Then at number 14, I got Arman Tsarukyan, who was supposed to fight for the title in January, but he pulled out. He might actually be the best lightweight on the planet since Islam is now a welterweight, and that Arman has 3 ranked wins with 2 finishes. He also arguably beat Mateusz Gamrot. He is incredibly skilled with a diverse kicking game, strong wrestling, vicious ground and pound, and although he has lost in the UFC, he has been very competitive, and he's been willing to take on anybody. But then at number 13, I have Movsar Evloev, who is 9-0 in the UFC, and is tied with the current champion Volkanovski for the most ranked wins at 4. He clearly is one of the most skilled featherweights and grapplers in the UFC. He has accepted fights against everybody, UFC newcomers like Diego Lopez and Aaron Pico, and also former champions like Aljamain Sterling, who comes from another weight class, which just proves how high-level Movsar Evloev is. But the reason why I have him so low is obviously he has no finishes and he hasn't gotten any titles yet, but he could potentially be a future top pound-for-pound level fighter in the UFC. Number 12 is Khamzat Chimaev. He was very dominant in the welterweight division, finishing all his opponents except for a prime Gilbert Burns. Khamzat has 4 ranked wins across 2 divisions. He's finished 2 of those opponents in the first round by submission, one of those being the former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker, who had never been submitted before. He also took on one of the best fighters of his generation, Kamaru Usman, on 9 days' notice, and in the first round, he 10-8'd Usman with his grappling, which is unheard of because Usman had only been taken down twice prior. Usman had some of the best takedown defense in the entire sport. Now Chimaev is a couple months away from potentially being a champion when he takes on Dricus du Plessis. Number 11 is Max Holloway, clearly one of the best strikers in the history of the sport. He has done very well in the lightweight and featherweight divisions with 5 ranked wins across those 2 weight classes. Max has had several title defenses as well. He has the most significant strikes landed in the history of the sport. Max is a legend in the sport, and he's still one of the best fighters in the world. But what's holding him back is his 3 losses to Volk and the 2 losses to Dustin Poirier, and the fact that he currently doesn't have a belt right now. At number 10 is Jack Della Maddalena. He dominated Bilal Muhammad and beat him for all 5 rounds. In his first 5-round fight, Jack is one of the most skilled strikers in the sport. No one has really been able to get the better of him on the feet, and his grappling is great too. He's got world-class scrambling, and Jack is making major improvements between all his fights, and he keeps getting better. And yeah, he is just one of the most skilled and talented fighters in the sport. But he just got the belt, and he lacks activity to really propel him and put him at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Number 9 is Alexander Volkanovski. Volk is a 2-time featherweight champion. He has beat guys like Max Holloway 3 times and Jose Aldo. Volk is very talented. He also competed in the lightweight division and arguably gave Islam Makhachev his hardest fight. However, Volk is 1-3 in his last 4 fights, which is why I've put him at number 9. Number 8 is Alex Pereira. He became a 2-division champion in 2 years, arguably the best kickboxer in the history of the UFC. He has knocked out 4 undisputed champions, and he had a really close fight against Ankalaev where he lost the title. Speaking of Ankalaev, I have him at number 7. Ankalaev has 5 ranked wins and arguably 6 because I thought he should have won the Jan Blachowicz fight, but ultimately it was a draw. In all of Magomed's UFC fights, even the ones he did not win, you could say he always looked like he was a better fighter in there. A couple more wins and he could potentially be in the top 5 of the pound-for-pound rankings. Number 6 is Tom Aspinall. He is a very special heavyweight with lightning striking speed, a lethal submission game, and the fact that Tom has nearly cleared the heavyweight division with 5 ranked wins and 5 finishes, all being in the first round. He definitely is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. He has 2 more wins over Suragan and Jelton Almeida, and he's completely cleared out the weight class and have to do rematch after rematch. And also, Tom Aspinall retired John Jones without even fighting him, and Aspinall can put away top fighters even on short notice. He can do it all, and Tom Aspinall, he is very close to being in the top 5 of the pound-for-pound rankings. Now, moving on to the top 5, I have Dricus du Plessis, a fighter who has knockout power, diverse striking, and a great grappling game. Dricus is a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. He also has beaten 3 of the last 4 middleweight champions, finished 2 of them, and beat 1 of them twice, once being a 50-45. Dricus has fought the best in his weight class. He has defended his title twice now, and he just keeps putting incredible performances out there. Now he looks to be the first person to defeat Khamzat Chimaev. Number 4 is the machine Merab Dvalishvili, a fighter who has an unstoppable pace. Merab has got good grappling, which is evolving as he showed in the second O'Malley fight with now a submission threat, but also in the Umar fight where he outgrappled what was deemed to be a better version of Khabib by Khabib himself. Merab is great, however, he lacks finishes that would potentially put him in the top 3 of the pound-for-pound rankings. Number 3 is Alexandre Pantoja. I have to put some respect on his name. Pantoja is one of the most dominant champions in recent history. He keeps getting better and has the most ranked wins out of any champions with 7. He currently has 4 title defenses, and he has beaten ranked champions like Brandon Moreno 3 times, Brandon Royval 2 times, Kai Kara-France twice. Pantoja is clearing his division, and he's also close to becoming the greatest flyweight of all time. However, what's holding him back from being top 2 or even the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter is that he has a couple losses in his division, and we have not seen him against fighters across multiple weight classes, which is what's holding him back. But Pantoja is absolutely one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the UFC right now. At number 2, I have who could actually be number 1 by the end of the year, Ilia Topuria. Ilia is the first undefeated 2-division champion. He currently has 5 ranked wins, 3 being against former champions, and he has knocked them all out cold. Ilya might be the best boxer in the UFC. His grappling is incredible as well, and he just keeps getting better, and now he looks to be unstoppable even at 155. But I think Islam Makhachev is the most skilled fighter in the UFC. He also has some incredible accolades, like having the most title fight victories in the lightweight division, the longest win streak in the lightweight division, and he is tied with Kamaru Usman for the second longest consecutive wins in the UFC, and he is 2 wins away from having the longest win streak in UFC history. Islam is super talented, and he has a chance to beat the welterweight champion for his next fight, which will undoubtedly be his toughest fight yet. So to recap, I have Shafka Rakhmonov at number 15, 14 is Arman Tsarukyan, 13 Mauzer 12 Khamzat Chimaev, 11 Max Holloway, 10 JDM, 9 Volkanovski, 8 Pereira, 7 Ankalaev, 6 Tom Aspinall, 5 Drake du Plessis, 4 Merab Dvalishvili, 3 Alexandre Pantoja, 2 Ilia Topuria, and number 1 is Islam Makhachev. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who do you think is the pound for pound king? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.